The following LuminArte Department article is brought to you by Scrapbooking.com magazine from the August 2013 issue. Life is Better in Flip-Flops, Artful Embellishing, by author and artist Judy Kaufman with Marty Willis. This is the time of year when we all want to kick back, sip a glass of lemonade, and make art that's colorful and easy. Freelance artist and designer Marty Willis generously shared her time and talent so we can do exactly that. Marty loves glitter, glitz, and bling, so the LuminArte and Viva Color products from Splash of Color are just right for the projects she creates. To make these artful embellishments, Marty chose LuminArte Primary Elements Artist Pigments as her starting point. By layering ultra-thick embossing enamel, or UT, chalk or pigment ink, and Primary Elements Artist Pigments, it's easy to create glass-like embellishments with layers of sparkle embedded in them. Start with sturdy chipboard shapes and color the chipboard with inks or with silk's acrylic glaze using one or more colors and one or more layers. While the paint or ink is still wet, cover with a thick layer of UT. Gently lift the chipboard without shaking off any of the UT, and scoop the excess out of the way. Heat the UT with a heat tool until it's clear, melted, and glossy. Gradually move the tool closer to the embellishment as the UT begins to melt and become smooth and glossy. Now it's time for the Primary Elements pigments. Have a Versamarker pad and a soft brush handy too. Be sure that the UT from the previous step has cooled completely. Smoosh the chipboard piece onto the Versamarker pad so that the surface is sticky. Brush Primary Elements over the piece in a random manner. Sprinkle a bit of UT on top of some of the pigments, and heat the piece with a heat tool and melt the Primary Elements and UT. See how the colors move and shift? Pause for cooling and repeat with more Primary Elements pigments and UT, heating again and again till you're happy with the results. Your custom embellishments are now ready to use. With a piece of MDF or wood as the substrate, you can create this colorful mixed media panel. Adhere scrapbook paper to your board using Mod Podge or a matte medium. Add color to the paper using inks, paints, or whatever medium you prefer. Scoop out some gel medium and mix well with Primary Elements pigments. Place a stencil over the board, hold in place, and smooth the gel medium mixture across the stencil. Use as few strokes as possible so that the gel medium and pigment mixture doesn't creep under the stencil. Dry thoroughly before you go to the next step. Mix a bit of Primary Elements pigment with glazing medium to make a shimmering paint. Use pigment sparingly, a little goes a long way. Use some of the same colors as you chose for the chipboard embellishments to add color and contrast to the panel. Computer-generate a quote, then cut or tear the piece and adhere it to the panel using Mod Podge. Gather and arrange the dimensional elements that will be embedded on the surface of your panel. Then move the pieces off to the side so that you can add them back one at a time. Mix Primary Elements pigment and gel medium to create a thick surface where embellishments will be embedded. In addition to the custom embellishments, you can embed sand, crushed shells, glitter, or microbeads into the thick pigment and gel medium mixture. For complete detailed instructions and a list of supplies for this project, visit Scrapbooking.com. A printable project card can be found by clicking on the step-by-step instructions link within the online version of this article. To find the products featured in this LuminArte article and shown in this project, check with your local scrapbook retailer. Browse our premier retail stores for a store near you. We hope you enjoyed this article. Don't miss the rest of the great articles and features in this month's issue of Scrapbooking.com magazine.